So I had someone in my community, my private Facebook community, ask me this question. I'm really confused on something. If we aren't supposed to post about our business or put it on our page, how would someone be able to tell what our business is when they even came to our page? If you're wondering the same thing, then you're definitely going to want to stay tuned as we're going to be tackling this, and I'm going to be giving you a little attraction marketing 101 lesson. So stay tuned. Now, today's video is definitely going to be more geared to you if you are, say, with a network marketing company, because one of the things that I always tell people if they are building a business, building an audience over on Facebook, is that it's never really good to mention your company name because you lose all curiosity. But I get this a lot, and in the fact that, how are people going to know that I even have a business or what I do if I'm not mentioning that company name? And so I want to kind of tell you the conversation. I want to share with you the conversation that I had. And if at any time you are getting some value from what I'm putting out, be sure to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and turn on that bell as I upload new videos every single week. So here's the conversation. After the person in my private Facebook group asked that, my response to them was, let me ask you this. What made you hop into this group to learn from me? She replied, Sherri, I was intrigued by your YouTube videos and want to succeed with my new company. I was with the last company for 4 years and ended up leaving, not happy with the outcome. So I want to learn how to do it correctly. And I love what I'm learning. I'm just confused. My response to her was, okay, so you found my videos and you listened, got value, and thought I could help you. So you came to my community where I'm helping you even more, in parentheses, building rapport. So now let me ask you this. If I were to recommend a tool or a resource that you feel could help you, would you be more apt to get it? Her response, if I could afford it, definitely. That's when I replied, that's my point. So we have to get you doing the same thing for your niche. So what I want you to understand is that if you are actually learning attraction marketing and implementing it into your business, then it will work for you no matter what industry or company or product or service that you're promoting. So in a nutshell, okay, what is attraction marketing? Well, attraction marketing is basically where you are putting out content, you're putting out value, and in return, you're looking to attract people to you. The content that you put out, just like in the video right here on YouTube, I am putting out content that is helping you solve a problem, and therefore that is attracting you to my videos. And that's the same thing that attracted Myra to join my Facebook community. Now, when it comes to attraction marketing, there are some foundational pieces that you're going to need set up. So let's go ahead and go over those right now. The first step is identifying your brand. Now, your brand is really what you want to be known for. Now, all too often, and I was totally guilty of this for several years when I first got into the network marketing space, of thinking that the company that I was with, like, that's my brand, and therefore I'm supposed to blast it all over. And that's definitely not the case. Your brand, what it comes down to, is what you want to be known for. So when somebody says your name, what do you want them to think of? This kind of boils down to, what are you passionate about? These are a couple of questions that you can actually ask yourself. What gets you fired up? What do you love to talk about? What are you passionate about? When somebody says your name, what do you want them to think of? What do you want to become that go-to for? Now, I do have a more in-depth training around these 4 steps that I'm going to give you inside of my free Facebook community called Back to the Basics community. I will put all the information on how you can actually hop into that group below in the description. Just make sure when you request to join that you answer those 3 questions. And what you can do once you've been accepted into the group is you are going to find the unit section, and you will see several different trainings that I have all kind of going over those foundational pieces a little bit more in depth, just in case you need a little bit more clarity. Now, once you've kind of identified your brand, the second step is thinking about, okay, who is your target market? Who is that ideal person, that ideal customer that you actually want to attract, that you want to work with? From there, you want to think about, okay, what are their pains? What are their problems? Like, what keeps them up at night? What are they struggling with? Once you've identified that, we can move on into step 3. Step 3 is when you can begin creating content. If you're on social media, it could be Facebook status updates, pictures. You really want to think entertain, educate, inspire. You know, my favorite thing is videos. I think it's the best way to really build rapport a lot quicker. And I love how people can really get a sense of like your personality, who you are, what you're about. But in a nutshell, it's basically when you are putting out valuable content that's going to solve their problem. Much like Myra, when she came to my YouTube channel, she started diving through different videos. She liked the value, she liked what she was learning, and that kind of took her to where she wanted to hop into my community and learn a little more. This is me, the way that I've branded myself as that social media marketing person. You know, I teach a lot about the foundational pieces to really succeed when it comes to growing an online business. And so the content that I put out might be totally different if you are more of, let's say, like a beauty influencer. You know, the first person that pops into my head when I think makeup is Jaclyn Hill. I absolutely love Jaclyn Hill. And so I am subscribed to her YouTube channel, and I could sit and just binge watch because if I'm being honest, I used to be horrible at makeup, but because I know Jaclyn Hill is that go-to when it comes to makeup, I will go and I will consume her content because she is solving a problem for me. So you want to think about, you know, what's your brand? Who is your ideal customer? And what type of content can you start putting out that's going to attract that person to you? This is what is going to allow you to start building rapport, building that know, like, and trust factor with your audience. Now, step 4, last but not least, once you've began creating that content, you definitely want to make sure that you've got a CTA. Now, CTA stands for call to action. A lot of times people who I mentor, people who come into my community, they might even tell me, you know, hey, I'm putting out content, but I'm still not generating any leads. Nobody is coming to me. Nobody's raising their hand. And all too often I find that there is no call to action when they're putting up content. So they're just assuming and crossing their fingers, hoping that somebody knows the next step that you want them to take. And if I can tell you anything, you never want to assume. You always want to give people that next step. Make it as easy as possible. A call to action is simply where you are giving someone the next step that you want them to take in the process. So take, for instance, I did a Facebook Live, and it was giving value on tips to increase their engagement. I also put this same video up. I actually edited it, made it where it's specific to YouTube. But the call to action was to hop into my private community to go through a 5-day engagement booster inside of my group to really teach people how to increase their engagement and get more eyeballs on them. You just want to make sure, here's a little pro tip when it comes to that call to action, you want to make sure that whatever that call to action is, it's congruent with the topic you're talking about. So if I were to put out a piece of content saying, how to generate more leads, well, it wouldn't make much sense for me to send you to a website to purchase makeup products because that has absolutely nothing to do with the topic that I'm talking about. So just make sure that you always start with the end in mind and work backward. Now, again, to dive a little bit more deeper into this topic, be sure I'll put the description below. Hop into my community. You can check out that unit section. Now, also, if you are building a business on Facebook, it's very, very important to make sure that you're setting yourself up right from the beginning to attract people. You definitely, don't want to be repelling them by, as soon as they hit your profile. Now, there are certain things that you can do, tweaks that you can make very quickly to ensure that your profile is attracting people right off the bat. If you're not sure what these are, I have created what's called my ultimate guide to attracting people on social media. I put the link right in the description. Be sure you can just Go to the website I have. You can enter your name and email, and then that will be sent directly to your email address. I hope you got some value from today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and again, subscribe to my channel. Next week, make sure to stay tuned, because next week I'm going to be uploading a brand new video on how to really become that go-to in your space. So I'll see you next week. Bye.